The girl stood up and brushed her hair out of her face. For some reason, even taking how terrified she should be to David, there was something oddly normal about the girl. She had shoulder-length brown hair. She was skinny as a rail, with a few specks of freckles across her nose and cheeks. Even her clothes could have been found in any store. Black tank top, jeans tucked into black red boots. She was older than he first thought as well, closer maybe to 16. If she even had an age. A hum from behind them startled them both and dragged David back into his current situation.
We have to go, now!
And the girl grabbed his hand and took off. Surprised, David followed and nearly dropped his phone. He tried to hold it up as far as he could to light the way. The hum from behind was growing louder as they approached the first fork in the tunnel. Without hesitation, the girl veered them over to the right. Clearly, she knew where she was going, and David wasn't about to argue. After a moment, the humming stopped. And there they stood in front of a ladder, leading up into darkness.
Just up here!
David snapped back into reality, and he was incredibly confused. Wait! The girl stopped mid-climb and looked over her shoulder.
Look, I know this is weird.
No, I know what weird is. I've seen weird. Who are you?
I'll explain soon, okay? We just really kinda need to get out of here, okay? No one's supposed to be here, and we are. So...
And with that, the girl returned to her climb. David was about to retort, but the hum from behind grew louder. Survival outweighed understanding at that point, and David grabbed the ladder and followed the girl, leaving that tunnel for hopefully the last time. The ladder led the pair into an empty room. It almost looked like a huge broom closet. A few scattered buckets and mops were lining the walls, but for being a part of that house, it was very unassuming. The girl next to him shook herself off and shoved her hand towards David. Her mood swings were clearly something to be impressed with, and David reluctantly took her hand and shook it.
You're probably wondering who I am and why I know you. My name is Natalie, and this is my house.
What are you talking about? How is this your house? This fucking place is your house?
I know, but you have to understand what happened. It wasn't always like this.
What the hell is this thing down there, with the walls?
Yes, I know. This is all a part of it. It all relates. Just let me explain.
Natalie paused and looked at David. He closed his mouth and looked back at her, letting her know that she was now free to talk without interruption.
This is my house. I know it may seem like hell right now, and you're right. It is. My family kind of dealt in some weird stuff. We moved into this house about 10 years ago, and it was nice. A small, quaint place. The problem is, my family, we can do things. But some of us, like my brother, took it a bit too far. Peter was never one to listen to reason.
Peter. The ideas were circling David's head, but he wasn't quite ready to accept it. Peter had been his friend for years, he thought.
This one night, 7 years ago, my brother took it too far. He needed more. We would ask him why he was so obsessed with all of this, and he would only respond by asking why not. What happened over the next few nights? It's kinda hard to talk about it.
Even in the darkened room, David could tell this memory really pained the young girl. All of this hell, was because of her brother. His friend. It seemed to David that the girl was just as much prisoner as he was. All right. David put his hand on her shoulder. Let's get you out of here, then.
No. This is my house. I need to get it back from Peter. I'm not leaving it.
David thought for a moment, and met eyes with Natalie again. Okay. If you can help me find Maggie, my girlfriend, and get us out of here, I'll help you get this house back. David took a look at his surroundings. His heart jumped slightly as he glanced around. Aside from the hatch in the floor that they had just entered through, there was no other exit. Just smooth cement walls. "Do you know where we are?" he asked the girl, hoping to God that she had some idea.
"Yeah, of course. It's, my house, isn't it?"
And with that, she made her way over to one of the far walls. The surface of the wall was a smooth, brushed gray cement. There was no way through, no door, nothing. Natalie reached into her pocket and took out what looked like a small piece of artist's charcoal. She pressed it to the wall and began drawing a long, swooping line about 3 feet in length. Line after line followed, and David watched in awe as the girl stood back and admired her work. David admired the work as well as Natalie. What she had drawn was the crude, yet somehow accurate drawing of a door. In the direct middle was a single line. Natalie placed the charcoal back into her pocket and ran her fingers through her hair. After a moment of silence, she raised her hand and placed her palm right against the symbol, resting 2 fingers against her temple with the other. At first, David thought that she was speaking to him, but then realized that she was chanting in some kind of weird language. Soon the symbol began to vibrate, and David watched as it began to steadily glow a deep purple. Natalie smiled to herself. She felt the wall shake before it split in 2.